And I regretting going downstairs in the first place. They're all the statistics that are there, and you will find when you hear from the case studies how they have actually seen this in their own Facebook campaigns and that side of things. And stereotyping was a big thing that came across to us whenever we were talking to the businesses. And they were looking at some of the biggest movie stars now, and they're all in the 50+ bracket. They're not seen as old. Michelle Obama is in that bracket, but she wouldn't be seen as your typical senior customer. So it is important to open your mind, to realise the difference, and to try and do something maybe that can address the big size of this market. So this project then was it's a pilot project to try and look at the different elements that were there, and as you saw, the online marketing is part of it. It's a big part of how you reach your market. So the 4 products that came out of this project, there was a digital technology, which would be a lot of information on how to up your game with digital skills, innovation, coming up with new products and services for these businesses, and we did run pilot boot camps in 4 different countries, and Jurgen will talk a little bit more about that. Work-based learning toolkit, I'll just go into a little bit now. It's just, everybody's busy these days. People run in small companies, you don't have time to really do a lot of work, so we've come up with information on different ways that you can do a bit of research, find out about different ways of learning in small bite-sized chunks. And then we have a collaborative platform where everything that you will hear about today and all the resources are all free of charge up on this platform. We'll talk a little bit about that. It won't be death by PowerPoint, I promise you. There will be case studies up in a bit. So as I said, this is the platform. You can just log on and register there, and all the information, all the training, it's all available free of charge up within this platform. So the first element that we looked at was a work-based learning toolkit, which basically work-based learning is any learning that you can do within the workplace, whether it's from incidental learning, from looking at data. There's lots of different ways. So what we did was we pulled together partnerships in each of the 4 regions, and a lot of the stakeholders are here today. We shared information on people's perception of what this market was like, people's perception of work-based learning, were people going to have to go off-site and learn new skills, or could this be something they could fit in around what they were doing to make it practical? And that's what we were looking at, the role of it. And then we tried to identify the objectives, and one thing that really came out was awareness, that people weren't aware of this market, the differences in it, and how they were actually going to reach it. So that was one of the key things. And things like today and all the statistics that are in your back and the information you'll hear, just to make people aware of this actual market without stereotyping. We asked the stakeholders to engage in the project, and with case studies, so online you'll see there are case studies from across the partners with businesses that are working within this space and how they went about it. For example, Anton is actually a case study because Paul that worked here, he ran a silver screening project for older customers, and then started listening to their conversations, and then developed new projects and new products, and now they're actually one of the biggest supporters of the theatre here, and they buy a lot of tickets and they tell their friends and how the audience has grown. We have Mallon Dance Academy in Dundalk, who runs a Silver Swans, which is adult ballet classes, and a lot of our people are over 50. And we have Philip Hogan from Clifford Media with the Acorn Project. So you can go online and take a look at the case studies and see the different types of businesses that are actually addressing this market in lots of different ways. And within partnerships, then we also developed a strategic plan to how we might actually roll the project out over the 2 years and what we might do to try and encourage it. And it ties in with the local authority age-friendly initiatives as well. So I don't think this is just what the work-based learning toolkit will do. So it's just a knowledge resource up there, so you can take a look at different types. As I said, Paul did the incidental learning. There's also information on big data. You'll see a few people talk today about how looking at their own business data helped and them realise the size of the market that they actually were already dealing with in the over 50s. So this toolkit, as I said, it is online. It's broken down into small chunks, looking at entrepreneurship, which is basically thinking and acting like an entrepreneur, but you're working within a business and how you can come up with new ideas. second outcome was, Geraldine has talked about the online, was looking at digital technology skills from SMEs. I won't read through all this, don't worry, but it'll just give you an idea of the types of information. You talked about data skills there for businesses, and how you can look at improving it with your own data, looking at data like we've just given you there, looking at the census, looking at the figures, legislation and the future of data, because that's where you can find an awful lot of benefits from your business. Digital communication and presentation. Everything is online, animation now, videos. There's information on how to do video production and mobile movie making, because people don't have time anymore. They don't read a lot of text. They just, and especially if it's older, if the message can be communicated visually in a short video and get your key facts across with as little text as possible, that's a bonus. So there's lots of information within this element of course. And then digital marketing, there's lots of different ideas there on different programs that you can access. The collaborative platform, as I said, this is a resource where everything is going to be on for the whole project and you can access it free of charge. This is how the IT element of it works. You can see where we see there's photo editing, video, website, lots of small chunks of information that will help you. I'm going to hopefully play a video now, but we'll just give you an overview of what the project platform does. Okay, so that gives you an overview of all the resources that are up on the platform, and they're all specific about how you can target the ageing economy and the potential customers there. For example, on Friday we are going to be live streaming 2 videos on Facebook, and all this will be up there. How to use Canva to produce a graphic advertisement for Facebook, and then we're going to show you an hour later how you can actually use Facebook to go target it, to target people that's 55-year-old women that like shoes, or that's how, that sort of, it's as niche as that. So I would encourage you, if you can, to take a look at the platform. It's all up there. And now I'm going to pass on to Geraldine to hear from the actual businesses who took part in the pilot and give you their own personal experience as well.